There we go. What's up, Will? What's up, Chase? How are we?
What's going on, Austin? How have you been?
It's been a long day. We already had one without you. It was, it's a little weird.
I watched that. That one really good, man. You guys did really good. I know I was at the lake and getting the camper set up for the week, and I'm excited,
without
man.
you. It was, it's a little weird.
There's double feedback. Things have changed.
But yeah, so coming on tonight is Bryan Abell. He skated in honey baked hockey when he was younger. He skated with the USA national development team as a goalie. I have a personal connection to Bryan. I billeted him for a few months when he played up in Minot, North Dakota, with the Minotauros. And I'll tell you, out of the personal players I know and the stories I know, this kid has impressed me so much. The things he's done in life, working for Ford now, and with the Stronger Warrior Foundation, he'll tell you guys a lot about that. I'm really excited to hear where he's at now and how he's doing. And Chase, I'm gonna let you take this one, man. Why don't you introduce Bryan to everybody?
Oh yeah, I mean Bryan's an amazing guy. He definitely has helped me a lot through a lot of things, and he's just an amazing guy. I'm super excited to start this podcast.
All right, so
Without further ado,
there you go, Austin.
And Bryan.
There's Bryan.
How's it going, guys?
Good. How you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. I can't complain. A little late here, but it's good that we're here.
Michigan is far, and it's kind of cool because it looks like a midden.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a hot minute from you guys. Definitely a little colder than what you guys are feeling right about now.
Oh yeah, it's
Right?
probably like 80 degrees, and it's 7 p.m.
80. It is like 90 outside still.
It was 90 driving here. It's warm out.
I think it's a brisk 40 probably outside right now. So
I'll trade you.
Lucky.
I will take that in a heartbeat. I will trade you,
Free air conditioning.
yeah, I don't know about that one.
especially in our office. Ugh.
Oh geez, it gets so hot in here because we have to have the door shut, and there's no vent in this room, and it is horrific.
My bad.
So what's up,
Yeah,
Bryan?
that's your bad.
So I know a lot about you, but for all our viewers and for Chase, tell us a little bit about your background and how you came about playing hockey and what led you to where you're at now.
Yeah, so I kind of start from the very beginning. I started skating probably around 4 years old. I played growing up my whole life. Youth hockey. I made the jump from I won a actually we didn't win. We actually lost in the state finals a couple times playing AA hockey out here in Michigan. Made the jump to AAA. I'm from the Detroit metro area, so I played a year for CompuWare, and then the rest of my youth hockey career I played for Honey Baked out here in Metro Detroit. Then I played 1 year with the Chicago Fury AAA hockey team. Then I played juniors in the USHL, NAHL, OJHL, SIJHL. Basically, what I'm sure they're still using the term. I was a suitcase. I was all over the place. Logged a lot of good travel miles and saw a lot of good places. But yeah, I mean that's kind of getting into hockey. No one in my family ever skated. My dad couldn't even stand up on skates. He's not going to like hearing that, but it was something I was kind of drawn to right off the bat. I mean, it's a unique game, but when it comes to that, there's really nothing else. I guess I just ended up playing at a young age, and kept moving my way up the ladder, I guess.
Speaking of that, I don't know if he's watching or not, or if he'll catch a replay. But Jim, happy birthday! I'm not gonna say how old you are, but man, I see today's your birthday. I hope you had a great day with Ben and your daughter, and hope everybody's doing well with the family.
Yeah, he turned the big 6-0. He's still looking good, but I guess he still gets around okay. I don't know, but he's doing good. He's
looking good, man. I seen the pictures.
Yeah.
He's definitely looking good.
Yeah, his golf game's still lacking. You'd think that would get better with age, but that's definitely not.
The golf carts just get easier to drive.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I have a question. What was your favorite team to play for?
And that's it's kind of a tough question, but like I know the answer right off the bat. So, my favorite team to play for was definitely Chicago Fury, actually out in Illinois, which maybe you didn't see that coming, but it's a hard question because there's so many different things you enjoy with hockey. Obviously, it's the camaraderie, it's the winning. I would say playing for Honey Baked, I did the most like winning, and playing even juniors. There's teams that we had real good teams, and we won a lot of games, but I was never on a team that had the camaraderie that team out in Illinois had, and that was my midget major. I'm still keeping contact with those guys, and it was just the most fun I've ever had playing hockey. And moving on, at the time we might have not won like I did when I was playing for Honey Baked, but I learned more kind of that year, life lessons, because at the end of the day, at least for me, I guess not for everyone, but there's life after hockey. And I took away so much from that year that I think helped develop me as a person. So I would definitely say that was probably the favorite team. I did enjoy a lot of other teams, but we had great coaches. So Al Dorsch and Dennis Vasky, they're by far the two best coaches I think I ever played for. But just an all around like good program out there.
Chicago Fury.
Yeah, I've never heard of them until you just said that.
Yeah, no. So it was a really kind of weird like instance how I got out there. I was playing for Honey Baked, and they kind of reached out to me and wanted me to come out and play for them. And kind of what was going on at where I was currently at wasn't a great situation. I wasn't really enjoying myself, and just how those two presented themselves to me, it was kind of like a no-brainer. And I ended up moving out there to usually people are just moving out to like play, and especially because I'm from the Metro Detroit area. There's other teams I could have played in Detroit. But the situation, and I just kind of wanted to get out there and get like a fresh start. And what that did for me is like a person was phenomenal. But great program overall. I know they're not on a lot of people's radar, but it was a fantastic program. And we had a great team. We actually ended up losing in the state finals that year, but it's
Did you
how
guys
it goes.
did you guys play against Honey Baked?
So we actually never played against Honey Baked. So I don't know how the formation of leagues goes nowadays out there, but there's the Tier 1 Hockey League and then the HPHL. So we were in the Tier 1, and then they were still in the HPHL. So we never had a game with them with the crossover. So we played, I believe, if I remember right, Little Caesars and some of the other teams in Victory Hahn, some of the other teams in Detroit, but never Honey Baked.
That's awesome, man. So Sandra Murray's throwing up a couple of comments there about Chicago Fury and Honey Baked. She's from Michigan as well. I don't remember offhand the part, but she watches our show a lot, and she's a real big supporter of what we're doing. So I
think I saw the Chicago Fury can be fierce. Absolutely.
I've never heard of them, so I can't say it, but I'm probably gonna look them up on YouTube or something whenever we get back to our campsite.
Yeah, no, we honestly, it's a great program all around. So they have some of the nicest facilities I've ever seen in youth hockey. Honestly, they're more so, they're probably better than a lot of the junior hockey facilities that I played at. I mean, they have their off ice kind of training area is just phenomenal. Locker rooms, everything about that place is pretty phenomenal. Definitely a good spot to be playing if you're playing youth hockey, because I mean, some of the junior teams I played for, they didn't even have nowhere near as nice facilities as they had.
Sonagua Bay City, Michigan.
Sonagua?
Oh, that was terrible.
Sonagua.
I don't think we can move on until that's pronounced right.
You want to sound that one out?
Sound that. Hold on, let me bring that back up for you there, Chase. Hold on.
You good?
Reading 101 with Chaser.
Okay, Chaser.
Let's
do it, eh?
Saginaw. I guess
that's close.
You're getting there.
You're
that's
almost
pretty
there.
close.
Saginaw.
Saginaw.
No, that was good right there. That last one was right on the money.
You were so close. That first one was a straight butcher. Well, that's okay. This is why we have reading time. I'm going to start getting you books. Don't worry.
You got a lot to learn about Michigan.
Oh yeah.
Nothing is pronounced how it looks.
I've
I
never-
promise.
I've never.
Yeah,
been-
that's a good rule of thumb. Nothing's you got all kinds of wacky stuff going on. We should have given Mackinac. See how we pronounce that one.
Oh
Oh,
Jesus,
that would
That
have
would
been
have been.
fun.
that would have been rough.
I
That
already
was
said
fun, but rough.
How is it spelled?
it.
Sandra, could you help us out there? I just want her to spell it out for you.
Mackinac.
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 It's
They have isn't the Mackinac Bridge like a really big bridge up there?
Yeah, that's like Mackinac
Euclid
Island's like a
City.
pretty. I'm probably a homer here, but I think it's a pretty world-renowned kind of place. People come in, they got that the big bridge, the Mackinac Island Bridge, and then it's just a pretty cool city. So they got the island where they got no like operating motor vehicles on it. It's all like horse-drawn carriage. Pretty cool spot. There's a lot of hidden gems. I love Michigan. I'll never move from Michigan. I've done my fair share down south and some other places. A lot of great places out there, but man, I love Michigan. There's hidden gems all over the place.
Sandra, you're amazing. Thank you, by the way.
Mackinac.
Mackinac.
Why is it spelled with a C if it's pronounced Mackinac?
Exactly. Welcome to Michigan.
What?
Don't think too hard on it. It's not worth it.
What do they call hot dogs?
What do you mean? What do they call hot dogs?
Hot dogs.
Oh my!
Is it like
Yeah, same thing.
Clubhouse? Hot dog, diggity dog. Is that what you're talking about? God, you're such a
Oh
child.
man. Anyways, so you played a lot of hockey when you were younger. What age did you start building, and like how was the building experience? That's one thing. Chase is getting to that age, and we kind of cater to a lot of younger players, kind of teaching them the ways coming up and what right paths to take. So how was that experience for you moving away from home?
So the first so I was 17 when I first started building. My experiences have been, I've had some really great experiences. One of the best experiences I had was out in Minot, actually, with you, Will.
Yeah.
And, another great experience I had when I played hockey out in the OJHL in Kingston, Ontario. That was a very good experience. And then I had a lot of good experiences. Honestly, I maybe had one or two bad experiences building, but it is what you make out of it. There's a lot of good families that do the building. For families that are going to take someone in, it's they're definitely a good, like, there's something there that's pretty decent about them. Because they don't really get much. They get nothing out of it. They do it because they enjoy it, and they want to welcome you into your family like you guys did when I was living with you. I would say that if I've heard horror stories about the building, it's usually from the family side and because of the players. So that's like the biggest thing. Chase, if you're going down that road, don't be a horror story for a family.
Clean your room,
Yep.
Your
clean
hair.
room.
I will not be cutting my hair.
wash your clothes.
I do.
Yeah, you don't want to cut that hair. That flows too good.
Exactly.
You were
Outta
the
here.
first person. You were ruining the streak, Brian. Every episode, it's cut your hair, Chase. Missing here. Did you not?
I can never grow any flow, so I'm always gonna. I'm in admiration. Anyone that could grow some good flow, I will I'll give them the credit they deserve.
Well, crap. By the way, Ava's grandma is watching Chase. Hi, Ava, grandma.
Hi, Ava's grandma.
Saginaw's goalie defends Kingston's net in the OHL.
You should have let him read that.
Saginaw's goalie defends
He's
Kingston's net.
getting
in
better.
NHL.
Quick learner.
He is. He's coming up pretty quick.
Don't you graduate next year and you still can't read?
So when did you play with the U.S. development team? What age were you, and where were you playing that at?
So that was so kind of the track. I played at Honey Baked my first midget minor year, and then I was playing my second midget minor year in about 2 weeks into. It's probably like 2 or 3 weeks into that season. So I was 16. I think 16 or 17 at the time, and I got a call from the NCDP team, and they basically said, "Hey, we need kind of an emergency backup situation because they had a goalie go down." And he actually went down for basically the whole season. So I kind of was in that position really the whole year. The first weekend I got a call was actually the first game I played in the USHL. I remember I was in so I didn't go to, I believe at the time it was Ann Arbor Pioneer. I was going to Detroit Catholic Central.
Okay.
And I got a call. They have like a different schedule because how they worked it out, they would be, they would go to school to a certain period of the day, and then I think it was like 1:30 they're heading over to the rink. Whereas obviously I'm going to a school where they don't really. I'm not doing that. So I got a call at like I think 1:30 in the afternoon, kind of say, hey, we need someone to be back up this weekend for the NCDP team, and I was just like, yeah, absolutely. Let me get out of my class so I can finish this call though. I'll call you back in a second. But yeah, that was the first. That call was the first time I backed up for him, and I ended up getting in a game that weekend against the Chicago Steel. And that was kind of after that, I practiced 3 to 4 days a week with them for the rest of the year. Backed up a whole bunch of games. And that's kind of how it ended up. Because I was definitely on kind of my midget minor year. I had a great year. I think I had throughout the year I probably had a 93, 94% save percentage, and I had a really good team in front of me, so I didn't get many shots. So that was like the big thing with Honey Baked. As a goaltender, you would have phenomenal teams in front of you, and you wouldn't always get to show. And honestly, that probably hurt me maybe a little bit, but definitely I was on kind of that radar. Didn't make the 40-man camp or anything like that. And then as soon as they needed a goalie, I kind of had a feeling going into the season if they had a scenario like that, because that's something that happens quite a bit. If they have a goalie go down, they call someone up in the Metro Detroit area. So I wasn't super surprised to get that kind of call, but it's pretty amazing experience. I know me and Chase were talking about kind of how he's making the jump to midget minor and youth hockey. That's definitely the biggest kind of the biggest jump from Bantam to midget minor. And we were kind of just talking that jump from midget minor to seeing the USHL and that level of hockey is that was pretty big, especially kind of how fast it happened. I hadn't skated or anything with the team, and I was in a game about an hour and a half, or probably a day and a half after I got a call to come up and play.
So did you skate at like a prospect camp? Like, how did they pick you out, or how did you get on their radar to be in that program?
So so it really wasn't a program or anything, but they had this thing called the satellite program, in Ann Arbor, that I started going to. I think it was my Bantam minor year. It was different people from the Detroit area, and basically you skate with a lot of the coaches and stuff from the NCDP team. I don't know if they still run that program, but that's when I first started skating with them. And then it was through my Bantam major year, they reached out to me a couple times, just like talking to me and about different things about the program. And I believe it was my Bantam major year. I got a couple phone calls, a letter, basically about the process of like how they select that team and everything. And I know that went out to like a good majority of players, different people that might be kind of on the radar for that team. And then my midget minor year, I had a really good year. Don't know where I was on the depth chart, but I think I might have been close, but who knows. But they reached out to me a couple times throughout that year too. And then after that, I kind of knew that if someone went down on that team, or there's an injury, or they needed a goalie to call up, just because of my history, kind of with them, that'd probably be a good candidate to be in that like emergency backup situation.
awesome.
That's definitely an amazing thing to hear, and especially being so implicated with the team, to be able to come up with the team that you're already kind of familiar with sounded like it would be a little bit easier than coming up with the team that you never knew, you know?
Yeah, so I knew no one on the team because like I think there was the only person I knew when I like started skating with them was at the time was Dylan Larkin, who had played against growing up, and I was actually goalie partners at the time with his cousin Ryan Larkin, who's now he's playing. I believe he's playing pro hockey somewhere. I think he was playing college hockey. I feel like he's probably. I haven't even checked. Honestly, I've been disconnected. He was a great goalie, and I'm kind of just assuming that after college he's playing some kind of pro hockey. But I've been pretty disconnected from the hockey world ever since I kind of could tell you all about when I played and kind of what was going on then, but kind of almost a little disconnected from the hockey world since I quit playing.
Yeah, that's understandable though, you know, like definitely. Are you kind of getting back into the face of the game though?
Yeah, so I definitely watch a little bit of hockey, but with the busy schedule, it's tough. But I think a big thing when I first, kind of when I quit playing, I was playing juniors out in the SIJHL. Definitely not the best league in North America by any means, and I definitely kind of had, I think, a little bitter kind of end to my kind of hockey, career. And I think that kind of steered me away from the game a little bit. Not so now, I'm completely content with how it ended, and I'm super happy where my life's at now. But I think for a while I got away from the game. Didn't even really like watching hockey. Because I was still young at that point too. I mean, it's hard to put a lot of things in perspective. So I mean, I was definitely a little bitter about how it ended, and now I still watch hockey now. It's tough watching the Red Wings sometimes, but.
Oh yeah, I mean, the Red
You
Wings
gotta,
definitely aren't the most stacked team in the league.
no, they're rebuilding though. You gotta trust the process.
Yeah.
As they
That's what
say.
they say about Buffalo too.
Nah, whatever they did to Buffalo, man, they must have poisoned them or something. Poor guys. 17 losses in a row.
Yeah,
That's a record. That has to be a record.
they're still building. They got a lot of moves to make yet. Last night, I don't know if you caught or not, but we had a Buffalo Sabres alumni on, Sean McMorrow. He played a game for them, and he played a lot of years in Rochester and their AHL team, and that was pretty good. And he's pretty loyal to Buffalo, so I'll stick on this one.
Yeah, he probably doesn't like hearing that if he's loyal to Buffalo.
Well, what's his name? Tyler Hall going 1 game or 17 games, scoring 2 goals, and then going to Boston and scoring 2 goals instantly. That seems a little sus.
Yeah. He's just bitter he is in Buffalo.
Yeah.
But
actually, that kind of makes sense. Like he doesn't want to play for Buffalo, so he's gonna botch it so that he could get traded. Oh, that's kind of smart by him.
That's smart by him. Nobody would have picked him up.
I'm sure that was the thought process.
Nobody will take you.
Boston took him.
It's Boston.
Boston has a big hockey team.
Yeah, Boston's pretty good. Like they're not the best team in the league. Like, they're no Lightnings, but they're definitely not like they're probably a top 15 team.
So they're in the top 50%.
Yeah.
Oh man. So you talked about how hockey kind of came to an end, and where are you at now? So what has hockey taught you? I mean, everybody, no matter what age you are, hockey ends at some point, no matter if you're playing in the NHL, if you're playing college. Hell, some people end at high school. Hockey always comes to an end, but what has it done for you, and where are you at now? So tell us some things you got going on.
Yeah, so now I'm currently working at a Ford Motor Company. I work in finance, and I also am a co-founder and co-executive director of a nonprofit organization called the Stronger Warrior Foundation. Helps out active military and veterans, and then on top of that, I also am still active in the National Guard. And actively drilling status. So once a month we have drill. So it's just like once a month, or once a weekend a month, and then a couple of weeks in the summer, depending on kind of the training we got going on. So that's kind of where I'm at now in life. So, I graduated from Michigan State. So I guess the track after hockey, I took some time to kind of figure out what I want to do in life. Cause there was kind of like this, when I left, playing hockey, I was, halfway through the season, I left the team I was on, came back home, and there were some opportunities in the NAHL a little bit, and then also in some of the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League, and I got to the point where I was just like, I think it's it for me. I think it's time to move on, and I think that was like the hardest, one of the hardest things I've ever had to deal with in my life, probably. Um, Especially, I think a year and a half before that, I was playing with some guys who are now in the NHL, and I was playing really, with just phenomenal dudes, and I was, competing and holding my own. And I think it was really hard, especially at that young of an age. And if I learned anything, from hockey, that was probably the biggest thing right there, was that you kind of gotta move on, and just you don't want to forget what happened, because you learn a lot from those different failures in life. Or you don't even want to call them maybe failures, or you didn't reach a certain goal, so you have to move on maybe a little bit, because it's not feasible anymore. But I learned a lot from that experience, and like I said, I was a little kind of bitter after that, with the game of hockey. But as soon as I got done really with hockey, and now that mindset, and was like, I'm gonna move on. I decided to go to school at Michigan State. I see Sandra said, "Go Spartans!" right there. Um, at the same time, I enlisted in the Michigan Army National Guard. Went to OSIT down at Fort Benning to become an infantryman. And kind of that's what started my career in the National Guard here in Michigan. So I've been in for about 5.5 years now. Hopefully I can make it 20, like you're about to coming up here. I know it's a little different since you're an active guy, but we'll see if my body can handle it.
Oh, I think it can, man. You've had a heck of an upbringing. You've played, sports for most of your childhood. That's nothing like what I did. And yeah, man, I'm proud of what you've accomplished. I'm proud of where you're at. Watching you play hockey was fun, but I'm more proud to say that I know you as the person you are now than the person you were then. I think you've done a lot for yourself, and that's a hell of an accomplishment to have.
Yeah, thank you. And that's I know, I think one of the sponsors of this program is like Puck Support. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I was kind of checking that out. Kind of an awesome thing with the mental health for the hockey community. And I'm super, Will, when you say that, I'm so happy with how my life turned out. And I'm so happy where I'm at now. But I think one of the biggest things that in the hockey community, it's hard for a lot of people to move on after hockey, kind of, especially if you play juniors, and you feel like you should have made it to a certain level and you didn't. And that's, I kind of wanted to bring that up, the mental health and stuff. I think that's phenomenal that you guys are involved with that, because I think that's a big thing. I'm super happy, but I think there's probably, in the hockey community, there's still people who look back. I know there is, because I know people I played with who look back and haven't really let go of it. And maybe it's because they're not happy with where they're at, or it's hard. It's when you're from age 4 all the way to 22 or 23, you're playing hockey. It's all you know, and it's kind of like an identity too. So it's, when you take that away, it's kind of a tough situation.
Yeah, I definitely get that, and I've seen that a lot. Like a lot of people who grow up with hockey, and I know kids who I've played with and I've seen who don't even like hockey anymore, but they've been playing it for so long that like you said, it feels like an identity to them. They don't know what life is like without hockey, so they continue to play hockey whether they like it or not.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's how I ended up honestly into the military, was kind of that identity gap, I guess, or it felt like there was kind of a void. I know we were kind of talking before the show even started about the camaraderie you have with hockey. I mean, some of the best times I've had in my life were, in that locker room or with my buddies on the team. I know Chase, you could probably agree with that. So I mean, when you take that away and you kind of move on with life, it's like a piece of you is a little missing. And I think that's how I probably ended up in the military because I was kind of sold on that camaraderie piece. A lot of a lot of the camaraderie I experienced in the military is not too far off by some of those locker rooms shenanigans going on, either pre-game or post-game. So it's definitely.
The funny thing is the second you said the shenanigans, the first thing I thought of was Rosie
Mm-hmm.
in the plane.
Oh, okay. Paul Rosen told a story about a little prank he pulled with his amputated leg in an airplane. It was pretty funny.
It was so funny. And it was just the second that he said that, I was instantly where my mind went. It was so funny.
So speaking of the camaraderie and, mentally strong with moving on after hockey, I think you and Chase kind of got to know each other quite a bit, and you guys came pretty close when Chase broke his leg and you kind of helped him overcome that. How did that feel for you, Chase?
Oh, it felt really good, especially breaking your leg because like right then is when my grandma died. So I felt like those 2 or 3 days before I broke my leg, it was like hockey was the only outlet for me. Like I'd just stick handle at night or whatever when my grandma passed away, just to get my mind off of it and stuff like that. And then I broke my leg and I lost hockey, and that was probably one of the toughest things to do, is deal with the passing of my grandma, who I would go to her house every single week, multiple times a week, and I would spend so much time with her, almost more time at her house than I did my own house. So it was definitely really hard to deal with the passing of my grandma, especially without an outlet. So when Brian was helping me, it definitely helped me through it a lot because I felt like I wasn't alone through it as much as I felt at first.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I remember I was down actually when I first got a call from you. I was down at Fort Benning, and that was just not a. It was a bummer to hear because I can't imagine, like we were talking before, I never had a super bad injury that threw me out. And I know Chase, because with your kind of, I guess your path with hockey, it's moved so fast and you progress so fast because you started at an older age, and hearing that, it was just such a bummer just because I know how much love you have for the game and how every day it seems. I remember seeing I don't know if Will, you were sending videos to me, or I would just see him on Facebook when you first started playing, and then literally I'd see a video like a month or two later. I'm like, this isn't even the same hockey player because the leaps and bounds you were making. So that was tough. And then I didn't with the passing of a family member too. I can't imagine how tough that must have been. So I'm happy I could provide some support.
Oh yeah, you definitely helped a lot.
Yeah, I mean, coming back from that injury, but you came back so fast, man. And there's people like Brian that were in your corner that I think really helped push you through it.
Yeah, that is one thing everybody always says, like that the doctors told me that I wouldn't be skating for like they told me I'd be skating in like 4 months, 5 months, but they told me that I probably wouldn't be playing games or even close to 100% for 6 or 7 months. So to come back as fast as I did definitely felt really good. And I really did not feel like waiting 7 months to play a hockey game.
Yeah, that's what I was saying too. I can't believe how fast you came back from that because we were kind of going over the timeline. You would think when I was trying to add up the months, you would definitely not think I work in finance now. Pretty bad math. But yeah.
So what's this Stronger Warrior Foundation about? What is this all about? I've seen a little bit about it, but what do you guys do, and how did you come about it?
Yeah, so the me and my sister found this organization about 2.5 years ago now, and it literally started in my dorm room up at college. So we've kind of made leaps and bounds from there. It's grown into something pretty big at this point, and pretty phenomenal. I think we've done some great work for both the veteran and the active duty military community. But kind of in a nutshell, what we do. So we have two different programs. One of them, Mission Resupply. We send hand built. So our organization hand built crates, and then we find families in the area, and they decorate these crates with all kinds of different stuff. Then we pack them full and we ship them overseas to deploy troops overseas. What's really cool about this program, there's a lot of good programs out there like Operation Gratitude that do care packages. What's really unique about our program is you kind of have that donor connection with that family who is really involved with kind of decorating and tailor the crate, and then every box we send over there has a video message
Cool.
attached to it. So when they receive the crate, they can see who their donor was and who actually put this crate together. And we developed this program. A lot of people on our board of directors or within our organization are either in the military now or veterans. And the biggest thing they stressed, and I think you guys can kind of attest to this too, is that one of the biggest things when you're receiving that stuff is that emotional kind of attachment to it, and maybe that sentimental. And that's what they really stressed for, was obviously we're going to put some good stuff in the crate, but we really want to make this special, and we want them to know that there's someone back home that truly does care and put a face to that. But yeah, that's the one that really benefits the active duty community. And then the second program, the Adaptive Warrior, we do housing modifications for disabled vets. And what's kind of unique about our program is we aim to find those who kind of fall through the cracks. So if you have two veterans, one had a disability that happened over service connected, and then you have another one who had a disability that wasn't service connected.
Mm-hmm.
The one that didn't have the service connected disability is going to have significant amount of funds from the VA. So we try to target those who may not have that help from the VA. In regards to kind of where we're at now, we did our first housing modification last year. This year we're going to be doing actually 3 to 4. So we've really stepped it up. I think we've gotten close to 400 care packages out the door overseas. So we've definitely it's definitely taken off from what it was in my dorm room up at college.
That's incredible. So a lot of this was your idea, huh? If it started in your dorm room?
So yeah, I mean, I can't take all the credit. So we had a lot of good people who kind of helped develop it. I think it was me and my sister both knew we wanted to kind of start a nonprofit, and we kind of created this thing. But when we first started the organization, we filed like the 501c3 paperwork and like the business entity stuff, the bylaws, articles of incorporation. We didn't even have programs. We were just like, we want to help people, and we wanted to be in the military. We're going to figure out how we're going to do it. So we had a lot of good people that helped develop, the programs we have now, which is like, in business, that is the most backwards way to do anything with no business plan. We just rolled out and said, hey, let's wing it. And it worked out, So if you're watching this and you're going to start a business, I would not recommend going that route. But it worked out for us.
That's awesome, man.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, winging it's usually the best way to go, because we winged a podcast. Not only did we wing a podcast, I winged a room, all the audio stuff.
That's taken off pretty good,
Our
man.
first podcast.
That was rough for you, but nonetheless,
You've come a long way, man. Your speaking has come a long way, and you're getting a lot more engaging. We just got to keep you awake during these now.
yes,
Oh yeah, I'm just tired.
You remember being 15, Brian?
Oh yeah, I don't know how he's doing it right now. I have no idea.
His attention span usually at like 40 minutes, which is what we're at, usually starts to go do.
That's honestly what I was gonna say. I'm more impressed with the attention span. I at 15, there's no way I would be jumping all over the place. I don't know how. how he's doing it. So
I'm here.
You still got the glasses? I remember one of the very first pictures I had of you when you came to the house was you had these thick black glasses you would wear with your little suspenders for game days.
oh yeah. No, I definitely pulled out I like to think I had some pretty good game day style. Suspenders, we gotta throw the glasses on there. I got a prescription though. I'm not one of those people wearing the fake glasses. Those are necessary.
Well, we pulled that up, Mission 77. So that's super cool at the organization and how you ship stuff overseas. It absolutely is, man. I mean, that's, you talk about selfless giving and taking care of others before yourself. That's exactly what that is. But my question is, so you said when these packages arrive, so I'm picturing myself when I was deployed, and Austin can probably put himself in the same position. But when you're deployed, you get these care packages, you said a video comes with it to connect that soldier or that airman or that Marine to that family. How does the video arrive? Like how does that person see that?
So they do have to have, which most of them do. You got to have a phone on you or some way to get on the internet, and it goes right to our website. So
Okay.
and if they don't, so it depends on the situation. Now in today's kind of environment, most do. But if you're talking about 04 and probably 11, depending what kind of deployment you're on, you're not going to maybe have access. But now,
Yep.
yeah, exactly.
Times
So
have changed, Austin. It's not
I was
like
about
when
to
we
say
went,
when I
man.
deployed, there was
Yeah.
no such thing as a computer, a phone. There was nothing. We literally sat in a dirt ditch.
Yep. No, absolutely. So yeah, that's probably where you're just like, what is this all about? But yeah, no, and some of them, some people who have received it, they even said they couldn't see the video until like closer to after their deployment or on the rear ends. So, but basically, what happens is there's a specific code on each crate. And there's a sticker that says how to view your video, and you go to our website and there's a big database where they can search their box number and it pulls it right up for them
Crazy.
to see.
Yeah, that's definitely amazing. That is definitely a really good way to get to it as well. I was honestly thinking like before you said that, which is actually a really good idea. You know how like some people they can make the video into like a barcode or something that you can scan with your
Oh
phone.
yeah, like a QR code. Yeah, and that's a good idea. We've already been kind of thinking about that. Sounds like you need to join the Stronger Warrior Foundation. You got some good ideas.
He has way too much going on already with the podcast. What are you talking about, Brian? Having attention for an hour.
So Sandra's got a question for you, Brian. She says, were you trained by oh my God, I can't talk tonight. AJ Walzak. Bring that up so everybody can see.
Oh, yeah.
AJ Walzak.
1 second.
Yeah, so I actually did. I did skate with him a couple times. I know AJ, fairly well. AJ is a phenomenal goalie coach out in the Metro Detroit area. He works with some of the, kind of the best. I feel like, especially watching now, I feel like he works with everyone. I see him posting stuff. But I did skate with him a couple times, and he was a phenomenal goalie coach. Also, just a phenomenal person too. I think that's one of the biggest things in hockey. You meet so many just phenomenal people. Don't get me wrong, you do meet some bad eggs every once in a while, but that's just life in general. And I think you meet some just lifelong people that you'll want to stay in contact with moving forward. So, but yeah, AJ is a great guy. He was a great goalie coach. I know he's still doing it in the Metro Detroit area. I'm friends with him on Facebook. I see him posting all the time. It seems like he just coaches about everyone. So
That is definitely an amazing thing to hear. And yeah, I honestly think private coaches are probably the best. Like they're the most friendly people. Like they can be butthead sometimes, don't get me wrong, but that's their job, But like even off the ice or even when they're on the ice, they're very friendly people, like they're very good people to be around.
yeah, absolutely. And working with that's probably one thing that hurt me a lot, in my development, probably growing up, was I didn't do enough of that, like in the summers and the summers, really mainly the summers. I wasn't working with anyone kind of one-on-one a lot. I would go drop in at Sticks and Pucks and just, play whenever I could or, here and there. But, I remember I was getting to, I think it was, when I started getting to like midget minor and stuff, that was kind of, I shouldn't have been doing that. I should have been working one-on-one with someone constantly. So there's a lot to be said about that. But, I didn't come from a hockey family, and that wasn't like if I have a kid that plays hockey, I'll probably know if he's really trying to make it to, as far as he can in his career, he's got to be taking advantage of every little piece of time they have, and it is a little costly though. That's the big thing working with private trainers.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree. It can be a little pricey.
Yeah.
He froze. He's reading a comment. There we go.
It takes his brain a second. Just bear with him, chat. Just bear with him.
It's so tiny, I cannot see it.
You know what helps with that? Glasses.
You know what that's?
Yeah, suspenders and glasses will help.
Suspenders.
Let's go,
I gotta
Urkel.
find that picture. I got that picture somewhere, Brian. I'm gonna put that up sometime. Brian with his, I think it was like a teal shirt you had on. You had black suspenders on, your thick black glasses, and that's
I probably had a bow tie on too.
Yes, the bow tie. That's right. I forgot you wore the bow tie.
I was about to ask if he had a bow tie.
He did. In fact, you guys can talk for a minute. I gotta find this.
Oh, you want us to keep chatting? Just you want to improvise right now?
Wait,
no,
did
you
you
really
do it?
want that?
Show. Let Chase talk.
Did he do
Wow,
it?
it's Chase's show.
Did
right
you do
now.
it as a joke, or were you like actually dressing like that?
No, he dressed.
Oh no, I just had good style.
I gotta find this now.
Just phenomenal style. No, I always the bow tie thing actually started. I think it was back when I was playing for Honey Baked. I don't even know how it started, but everyone was obviously like, what is that guy wearing right now? And I kind of just started doing it, kept doing it to be like, yep, I'm still doing it. And then it just kind of morphed into like my full-time style. And then it got to a point where like, I kind of like this. And probably I'm sure people are like, what is that guy wearing still? But I'll still bust out a bow tie every once in a while. I'm more of a tie guy now, but
it's gonna take too long to find. But yeah, man, he definitely rocked a bow tie, a bright colored shirt, and he was probably one of the flyest dressed dudes going to the games.
Yeah, no, that's if there's anything, I might not have been the best on the ice, but I was the best dressed.
So you started playing juniors and travel hockey when you were young. How did you balance? And this is kind of up Chase's line because this is the route he's kind of going right now. How did you balance hockey and school and home life?
So it's especially with the hockey and so the home life, I feel like is like when I was still playing hockey at home, it was really easy, because you're with your parents. My parents would drive me to practice every time, so you're constantly with them. And the hardest thing was like school, and then also social life, because I think that's something that is really healthy for someone to be able to engage with, not side, kind of with your peers and be able to do stuff outside of just, so it's kind of hard. So you got hockey, social life, family, school, and it is probably one of the hardest things for a 15-year-old, 16-year-old to do, especially if you're trying to do good at a lot of these different things. I probably lack more on the social side, and I probably still do. I probably got some friends out there wondering if I still exist. Because some things do got to give, and it's a lot of time management, and that's something I still don't think I fully mastered. And I don't know if we ever fully master it. We just kind of get better at, I guess, winging it, as we were saying earlier. But I think the most important out of those, obviously, I will say right off the top, and this is coming from someone who no longer plays hockey. There's the two most important, and I'm going to rank them as, family and school. It's something that's hard. If you would have told me that at 15, 16, if I probably would have been like, I love my parents, but hockey all the way, because that's all I knew. And it's not because I didn't love it; it's because I just didn't have the life experience at that point. And someone who's done playing hockey, family, that's all that matters to me. Really in life, it's so important to have my family around me, and that's why it's important to make that probably a big priority. And then school is huge. I'm where I'm at because I did well in school and I had a good education, whereas a lot of my peers playing hockey, they didn't have it. And a lot of it it falls back on, just that family life. Usually when you have a good family life and you're close to your parents and you're close with everyone, they will push you to do good in school. You'll push them to do good things. I'm sure some cross the line. I'd help my dad somewhere, even though he would never, tell me, but who knows? But I had great parents too. Like they would drive me to practices. They paid for me to go to a private school. And they gave me every benefit along the way. So it is a hard thing to do. And it gets really hard when you move away and you're playing juniors, especially the family part. I mean, I had great parents. They would come watch me play all the time. And they would come out to Chicago. I know, Will, you probably remember them coming out to North Dakota. They would drive up to Kingston, Ontario all the time to watch me play. And as I got older, I realized how important that was, that family. And I think it's when I moved away, that's when I realized, because I never was away. But it's definitely not the easiest thing in the world at all, especially as a 15. I mean, I think it's very hard to be a hockey player. I feel like in today's, like, at least when I was playing youth hockey with the competitiveness in it and be able to manage everything, and it is kind of vicious out there. I mean, it's tough to get to progress and make it to the next level. And you're then throwing all this other stuff of, like, doing well in school, social life, family. It's hard, and I think these are skills that, will help set you up for success, down the road, if you can balance and manage all those things.
I 100% agree. Like, I think I used to focus a lot on social life before the pandemic, and then the pandemic kind of forced me to focus more on school. Like, my lowest grade is an 84 and my highest is 106. And so I'm definitely focusing a lot more on school than really ever before. And it's all because I really don't have a social life anymore. I'm either always at the rink doing podcasts or doing school all the time. I mean, I get to see my girlfriend Ava sometimes as well. Most of the time during the weekend. And other than that, though, my only social interaction with people is coming here to do the podcast and then go to the drink.
Yeah, no, and that's good. I mean, it's been hard during COVID. I know, for, I think, just everyone in general, every demographic, everyone in the world, it's been kind of tough, especially with the social part. I mean, I guess that's why it's so important for the stuff like that's going on, whether it's what we do at the Strong Warrior Foundation or what, kind of the puck support thing, but kind of advocating that mental health and stuff. But yeah.
I 100% agree with that. I definitely think that, especially with all this COVID stuff coming out, the biggest side of not even just hockey in general is the mental health of everybody, because it's definitely driven some people into some pretty dark places. But just telling people and making sure that they know that they're not alone is definitely the biggest part, and definitely a big part of getting through this pandemic.
Yeah, no, and I think it puts in a lot of perspective, especially, there's things that are bigger than hockey. There's things that are bigger than sport. It's good to, like, mental health. That is something that's much more important than anything probably out there. So
I 100% agree, because I mean, hockey is a great sport and it's definitely a lot of people's lives, but hockey isn't the end all be all. I mean, eventually everybody ends up in the beer league,
Besides me, I don't even know if I can skate anymore. It's probably been I don't know if I've skated in the last 4 years.
It's probably like riding a bike.
Yeah, I mean, one day even Ovechkin will be playing men's league.
Yeah, I think the last time I skated was I might have had a beer or two, and I was not doing too well. I rented some skates, so they definitely weren't sharpened for probably a good century. And I was going all over the place. People were like, "You were a hockey player, and you were actually like good at it." And I was like, if you would have told me, I would have said no. But
tell them goalie skates are different than rental skates. So
honestly, I feel like I threw that one out there probably because I was so embarrassed. I was like. But it's funny because there's a lot of people like I like, once I went to college and stuff, they didn't even like know I played hockey. they would find out like a couple of years after me because I never really talked about it. And it was kind of funny. There's probably still some of my buddies who have no idea I even played hockey.
That's crazy, man.
Until you post this to your Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. Until I post this to my Facebook, they'll know. They'll be like, I had no idea. They'll just remember how bad I was at skating and still not believe it.
He didn't play hockey. Those rental. No, dude, I remember I was playing hockey for a while and I wanted to skate up in Mississippi when we went out there. And I forgot my skates. And it was when I was decent at hockey. I wasn't the best yet, but it was when I was decent. Not as good as I am now. And so I took rental skates. It was the single worst day of my entire life while skating. Knowing how to skate and then skating with rental skates is horrific. It's like,
Oh yeah.
It's like trying to ride a bike without wheels. Terrible.
That's a good way to describe it. It's pretty bad. I'm sure they don't. I'm pretty. I'm pretty safe to say that they don't sharpen those every time they're used. So
No, I
God, no.
yeah.
those things are duller than butter knives.
Yeah.
The backside of the butter knife at
Mhm.
that. Yeah, they don't at public. Man, I see these people. They take the skates, they put the little spray in it, and then they put it back up. It's so
That's all
funny.
you gotta do. You just gotta make it smell good.
Yeah, they just take it and then put it back up. They probably sharpen it every 4 years or so.
I
Somewhere.
think that might be generous.
Man, they need to buy better rental skates. Those leather ones that they use are not working.
This could be a business idea. You could open up a little skate rental place. We could add some more stuff onto your plate.
Oh yeah.
Please don't, because I'm going to have to help with that.
Ethan, do you have experience running a business?
Do I have experience running a business? Do I have experience doing a podcast? Do I have experience with streaming? Do I have experience with audio? What else do you want from me?
Are you also a good dog trainer?
I hate you.
Are you?
Yeah, I trained my dog.
You trained Athena?
He used to be in the army.
Did you have a dog in the army?
No. No, I did not.
Okay.
He worries me. This child.
So what else you got to ask him?
Why do you like living in Michigan so much?
I mean, just to hear you to try to pronounce the names of cities, that's probably about the biggest reason.
I was going to say, that's a good enough reason for me.
Yeah. No, Michigan. So I love Michigan. I mean, it gets a little rough, especially when we do some of the military stuff out here when it's like 30 degrees. I'm not a fan of that. But outside of that, I mean, this state is like one of the most beautiful places. I think, I don't know, at least in the United States. Maybe the world might be a little, might be too biased.
Fiji.
Yeah, northern Michigan is my favorite place in the world. So I grew up going up there. My parents have a place up there, and it's just, I don't even know how to describe it. But there's a good Kid Rock song all summer long talking about northern Michigan. You should go listen to that. That's a good description of it.
And then after that, look up the definition of youpers. See what a
Yeah,
youper is.
Youper. Yeah, go look at what a Youper is.
What
But
is
there's a Youper. It's someone who lives in. So
Don't
you
tell
know,
him. Don't tell him. Don't tell him. He
Okay.
has to look it up.
you gotta look it up. All right.
Not now. Nope. You mess with that, Wilt. He's going to mess with the computer. I hope you break it.
a young city or suburban resident with a well-paid professional job?
You spelled youper wrong.
Very wrong.
How did you see?
Because that's not the definition we're looking for.
So go ahead, Brian. Educate this young man.
So there's the UP. So there's like you were saying how it looks like a mitten. There's the UP. So if I feel like I'm doing this backwards, but kind of like the up top. You know how Michigan's part of Michigan's kind of disconnected from the mitten part.
Yeah.
That's called the Upper Peninsula. And people who live up there are called the Upers. And you can go search more about Yoopers. I'm sure they'll give you all kinds of little tidbits about the specifics of a Yooper. I won't do that. But
the Urban Dictionary version, which is not what we're reading on this show.
yeah. If you
Don't not to your mother's computer.
Yeah, no, the UP is beautiful though. I mean, the Pictured Rocks, one of the most beautiful places you could ever go in the world. But there's some awesome spots in the UP. But I don't know. I'm all Michigan all the way. I'll never leave this place. I love it. It's just live and die by it.
Do you think Detroit will ever win another Stanley Cup?
Oh, 100%. They'll probably win one. Maybe not this year. That might be
I was about to say that the Lightning are a super team. I doubt they're probably
give it 2-3 years. Probably more like maybe 5. Give it 5 to be safe, and we'll be back on top.
20 years just as a safety net.
Yeah, we could throw 20 years.
As the Detroit Red Wings in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah, I doubt that. Sabres would find a way to get knocked out, even if they had. The Sabres would have Wayne Gretzky on their team, and they'd find a way to blow a 3-0.
Wait a minute, they have trolls in Michigan? What is this? What is Sandra telling us? Brian, are you a troll?
I guess so. I didn't know that. I need to go on Urban Dictionary and look up.
Sandra said you're a troll.
Rough day.
Wait, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Troll too. Then I see the connection.
Plenty of
Yeah, that's okay. I can be a troll.
Hey, so real quick, I'm gonna have the producer type it in the comments so we can bring it up on the screen. But where can people find some information on the Stronger Warrior Foundation? A website, a Facebook page?
Yeah, so we have we're on all the different social medias: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. But if you really want to get like all the good information, go to our website at www.strongerwarriorfoundation.org. You can read more about what we do, what we have done, and what our vision for the future is. Yep, right there. That is the website right there. So pretty good tool if you want to learn more about what we do and kind of the impact we've already have, and if you would like to donate to the cause.
Absolutely, man. That's incredible things you're doing, and I'm proud to see where you've come from and where you've gone and what you're doing. I mean, successful in your job, taking care of life, educated, and serving your country, and serving those who serve your country. I mean, man, like that's what it's all about in the long run.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, it's been a good little journey so far, the first 25 years, so I'm sure it'll get a little more interesting as we keep going, but I'm just happy to be where I ended up, and I think there's a lot of things along the road, probably hockey specifically, that helped land me where I'm at today.
That's awesome, man.
You're only 25?
Yep, 25.
With everything you've been through and everything you've said, that's surprising. You've had a lot of life experience at just 25.
I think I've had a good amount. Don't tell my parents that. They'll tell you I got 0. So, but I think that's what all parents do,
There you go, Brian. You may have to link up with Sanders. Said, let's partner up in Saginaw. How do you say that, Chase? Saginaw. In Flint for a military theme.
Oh yeah, that would be phenomenal. We actually we have done a couple military nights at different we've done a couple at like high schools. We're actually doing a big event right now with the Detroit Pistons. They called their Hoops for Troops. We already sent some care packages overseas, and we're working on doing some other stuff, housing modifications and whatnot with them. So we're gonna kind of have a military night. So, like Sandra said, that would be fantastic if we could do something like that.
Absolutely. I'm sure, Facebook is a magical thing. I'm sure you guys can link up and get some information and get something huge set up. And, we'd definitely support that. That would be incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we've definitely talked about a lot.
Yeah.
So this is just me going on a whim here, but I'm going to put his organization, the foundation, on the back page here.
Yeah, absolutely. If Brian doesn't mind, I think, kind of how we have the screen here right under where we are, where that black opening is, maybe we could put that up for a few episodes.
Yeah, no, that would be phenomenal. If you guys are willing to do that, that would be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. And just make sure you share us amongst the hockey world and help us grow as well. Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. This will be going right on my Facebook as soon as we get off. I still got some people from the hockey days on there, so we'll definitely share this all over the place as much as I can.
That's awesome, man. Well, it's been great catching
about
up.
that time. I mean, it's 11 p.m. where you are, man. You gotta get sleep.
Yeah,
That's crazy. Later night tonight.
Oh yeah, man. I'm dead tired.
But man, it's been real catching up with you, man. I'm so I mean it too. Like I'm so proud of what you've done, and out of the kids we've builded, I am very, very proud of where you are and what you are doing, and I can't say enough for that. That's just, it was great getting to catch up, and definitely have to have you on again.
Yeah, no, this was fantastic, and I greatly appreciate all those kind words, because it does mean a lot. So to hear that, so I would love to come back on. So hopefully we can do it again.
Oh yeah. So basically, what will happen is we'll throw you down.
Hey, chill out with the.
He's got to get better with saying goodbye.
God, will you chill? You want me to say goodbye to everybody for you? All right. Brian, give us a second while we educate the tiny rook.
Years old.
The 15-year-old. He does this every episode. This is episode 15, and you still haven't figured it out. You are killing me. I'm just going to put a script in front of you at the end of the show. Right on front of the table, just written it on a green piece of paper so it's not seen. Just you have a script you have to read from now on, because I can't do this with you.
That actually sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, I'm going to have to, because you're like, all right, see you later. Okay, bye. Stop that.
No.
Stop that. But this has become a regular occurrence of how we end our podcasts.
That's true.
That, and when you're not here, I yell producer a lot. So, all right, guys, this is coming to the end for us. Brian, we're going to drop you down back into that green room. We're going to say bye to everybody. But before you go, would you like to say goodbye to everybody?
Goodbye, everybody.
Wow, just as bad as Chase. Jesus.
No, hey, for real though, thank you guys again for having me on and talking about especially the Stronger Warrior Foundation. It means a lot, and I look forward to coming back on. So thank you guys for what you guys are doing. This is awesome. I'm sure it's a great outlet for a lot of people. So I'm happy I could join and share kind of my experience and where I'm at. So thank you guys.
Absolutely, man.
So just hang out with us a second. We're going to drop you down, and then we'll say goodbye to everybody and bring you back up and talk to you. So how's everybody's night? Welcome back to just us and the weirdness. Chase, say goodbye correctly.
Goodbye correctly.
God damn it.
God.
Guys, we love your faces.
From a 15-year-old.
We love your faces.
What was it called?
Impromptu.
What the heck are you doing?
You missed it. We did that a lot when Chloe disappeared.
Yeah, because you
no wonder why people aren't following our page anymore. You're dancing on camera.
You're welcome. I dance for free.
Oh my
All right, guys.
God.
If you're over on YouTube, come find us on Facebook. If you're on Twitch, come find us on Facebook. That's where you're going to get the most out of us. If you're listening to us after this live session, why haven't you been watching the live session? We're over on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. You can find us on Podbean, the loveliness of Spotify, Amazon Echo, I believe we're on now too. So you can just say, hey, play the Splittin Twigs.
Can you really?
I may have done a thing.
Dude, we're in people's houses. This is
may
creepy,
have done
man.
I may have done a thing. You're welcome,
Wait,
people.
so if I go home and say, hey, Alexa, play Splittin Twigs.
It should, in theory, play it.
So you're going to talk to yourself over at home.
This is weird.
All right.
Swag.
That's really weird. Swaggy. Yeah, right. Abel Swaggy. Guys, again, we had Bryan Abell on from the Stronger Warrior Foundation. Great dude. We're definitely going to do some more stuff with them. Because
absolutely. I'd like to do some things with Stronger Warrior Foundation, man. That's a great organization.
Like a customized blade tech blade.
And to know Bryan from when he was close to your age, just a couple years older to where he's at now, man, I absolutely want to support that.
You think Blade Tech would give us a blade to give away for them?
Oh, we might have just made a connection, man. Blade Tech does make camouflage.
One
you
second.
must be speaking French or we. That you mean me?
He did say
you
it.
Can't even spell we.
But he oui. Si, senor. But all right, guys.
You went from French to Spanish real quick. I really enjoy these reactions.
Yeah, it wasn't working all day, so I just. Oh, there we go.
Found it. No.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Next weekend, we got a full lineup again.
Rafflecopters.
Yeah, watch our Facebook page to see what guests we have coming up next week. And we're working on some bigger things for everybody. So it's been real. I appreciate it. Have a good night, everybody. And thanks for joining.
Chase, you got this?
Toodaloo.